India says it has carried out precision strikes on militant sites inside Pakistan and Pakistani-administered Kashmir, claiming to have killed what it calls a number of terrorists. A spokesperson for the Pakistani military says 8 people were killed in the strikes, which it claims hit civilian targets. India's army says 3 of its civilians or citizens were also killed by Pakistani troops in Kashmir. Islamabad says its response to India's strikes is already underway. Tensions are soaring between the two countries over last month's deadly attack on tourists in the Indian part of the disputed territory of Kashmir. Let's take a listen to what Pakistani military spokesman had to say.
There have been 24 impacts in Pakistan at 6 locations. These impacts have been carried out by India in different ways, using different weapons at 6 locations. In these attacks, 8 Pakistanis were martyred and 35 were injured. This cowardly, unjustified act of the enemy will be responded to strongly by the Pakistani army, responding with the support of the Pakistani nation.
Binish Javed is from Pakistan and reports on the region for us from Berlin. Sandra Petersman heads up our bureau in Delhi. Binish, starting with you, how is Pakistan responding at this hour?
Ben, we've just heard from the spokesperson of Pakistan's army. In his statement, he has also said that Pakistan has shot down 5 Indian jets, including 3 Rafale, 1 Su-30, 1 MiG-29, and a drone has been shot down. Now, this is a claim by Pakistan's military. We cannot independently verify these claims. We have to understand that it's a very heated temperature right now, and in such a situation, exaggerated statements are usual, especially when it comes to conflict in Pakistan and India. This military spokesperson has also said that all of these jets were down or were shot in a defensive action. What Pakistan has also been saying that some of the sites where India has attacked, some of them were across a line of control in Pakistan-administered Kashmir, and some of the sites are in Pakistan's Punjab province, which is away from the disputed territory, and that is where India has said that Pakistan's militant groups like Lashkar-e-Jhangvi, they have their terror centers. India claims that India has attacked those terror centers. Pakistan claims that all of these sites that India has attacked were civilian sites, and in these attacks, Pakistan says that 8 civilians have been killed. Again, it's very difficult to independently verify these claims. So these claims are coming from Pakistani officials. We cannot independently verify these claims. Pakistan has also called Indian attack unprovoked, an unprovoked attack, and also an attack on Pakistan's sovereignty.
Sandra, we're already in a very tricky situation here with this dispute escalating. But do Indians really want to go to war with Pakistan?
War is such a big word. I'm not sure that people here really want a fully blown war with Pakistan, but the overwhelming majority, and that's for sure, wanted military action against Pakistan, wanted to see a response to avenge this ghastly attack on civilians in Indian-administered Kashmir. And in fact, we did go out yesterday to speak to young people in the streets from all walks of life to figure out what do they think should happen next, and this is what they had to say to us.
Those who committed the attack must be punished, but they shouldn't punish the whole of Pakistan, only those responsible, because it's a political game.
In my opinion, normal people should not get affected with that. We should also force Pakistan government to take strict action on these people. And who are they? How are they living in Pakistan? There is definitely something wrong from Pakistan government's side as well.
This time our response should make them think 100 times before they even consider doing this again. And I think this time we should take back Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, which is ours.
Every single deal between India and Pakistan and all facilities helping them should be stopped. It's better to cut all ties so they realize the damage that's been done. They also need to feel that pain.
Sandra, the UN chief is calling for maximum restraint. Is there still a chance for de-escalation?
I'm sure that there are back channels now looking for restraining both parties, but at the moment I think we see ongoing shelling at the line of control. We know from Indian army sources that civilians along the line of control in their villages have been hit, that there are civilian casualties. And if I just look at the social media posts by key Indian figures here coming out in the last couple of hours, the most recent from India's External Affairs Minister Jai Shankar, he posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, let me quote him directly, "The world must show zero tolerance for terrorism." So this is really asking to rally behind India here. India's Minister of Defense, Rajnath Singh, had already posted during the night one line in Hindi saying, if I may translate, "Long live Mother India." And also a voice from the largest opposition party here, the Indian Congress. Its president posted, "We are extremely proud of our Indian armed forces. We applaud their resolute resolve and courage." And as I said, we hear of continued ongoing fire. These strikes have certainly escalated the situation between these two nuclear armed powers. It is an extremely fluid, dynamic situation. There is a whole lot, like Binish said, misinformation and disinformation also from state actors floating social media. And here in India, we still mainly go by the official statement released at 1:44 during the night local time by India's Ministry of Defense. And that statement said that 9 sites have been targeted, 5 of them in Pakistan-administered Kashmir and 4 deep inside Pakistan itself in Punjab province, which is pointing to the severity of the escalation.
Binish, how do you see this developing?
Ben, it is a very contentious, very serious escalation between 2 nuclear-armed countries. And unless there is serious pressure coming from external parties, I don't see an immediate de-escalation. What we are hearing is, for example, we have a statement from White House where we are hearing from White House a statement which says that U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has spoken with his counterparts from India and Pakistan, and basically he's encouraging India and Pakistan to reopen a channel of communication between the leadership so they can talk and they can prevent a further escalation. And Ben, what we know is, experts say that both India and Pakistan do not have a very strong conflict management system. Diplomatic relationships were already very low, and most of the times when a conflict happens, it's usually some third parties, either U.S., mostly it's U.S., which intervenes. So we are hoping there are statements coming from the UN, from U.S., that are asking for de-escalation. So if there's an external pressure, then we hope that there could be de-escalation in the conflict.
And we heard about what some Indians think about this. What do people in Pakistan think, Binish?
So as of now, what the statements that we are hearing from Pakistani officials and some of the sound bites that we have seen from Pakistanis, they are united behind the military. They are united behind the government in these retaliatory attacks. But we also have to understand the context of Pakistan. Most of the Pakistanis you'll speak to, they would not want a war with India. Pakistan faces immense domestic challenges. It is still recovering from a chronic, very severe economic crisis. Pakistani military is stretched. It is fighting cross-border attacks that Pakistan says emanate from Afghanistan. Ben, just last year, more than 1,000 Pakistanis were killed in terrorist attacks. There is an active insurgency in southwestern province of Balochistan, and now Pakistan, it's very difficult for Pakistan to afford a new front on its eastern border. So most Pakistanis, although they are united right now behind their government and behind the military, it's something that most Pakistanis would not want. And imagine this anxiety that is happening right now in the country. Islamabad, the capital, is in a state of emergency. The government has also declared the province of Punjab, the most populated province in the country, in a state of emergency. emergency. So it's not, there's a lot of anxiety of how things will fold and how things will turn out in the next few hours.
The very latest there, thanks to Binish Javed in Berlin and Sandra Petersman in Delhi on a very fast-moving story. We'll keep you up to date.